Okay, there we go. That's what we were waiting for right there. We got that thing. It's cold foil something or other. All right. Let me get my boom ready. Let me make sure we're ready. All right, here we go. Cold foil. Boom! Yeah! There we go. This is the one. This is what we've been waiting for. It's made of cold foil. Y'all ready? I'm ready. Here we go. I'm not shaking. You're shaking. Like watching the card shake. Why is it shaking? I'm not shaking. Maybe I'm shaking. All right, here we go. Boom! Yeah! Could there be a second cold foil? Could it be Fabled? Enchanting Melody. Reduced to Rune Chant. Boom! Fuck yeah! Yes! 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 I called it! So that's pretty cool. A couple of pink strips there, both rares. Boom! Holy shit, we did it again! But, you know, these boxes, these are hard to hit boxes. They're not for the weak of heart, because you're looking for a heart, right? You could potentially pull a card worth over $25,000 out of here. That's why we're here. So, you know, if you don't hit a super rare or a majestic, I'm sorry. We're trying to go all the way anyway, so, you know, don't get too mad. Okay. Jeremy, good luck, sir. Potion of Strength for your first rare. Flick Flack, pink strip. Oh shit! We fucking did it! Jeremy! Jeremy Stoddard! Jeremy Stoddard!
Let's go!
Oh, holy shit!
Precise. Welcome.
Fluke.
This is long overdue.
Yeah, you know, it's been a minute.
Well, we talk like nearly daily, but maybe people aren't aware of that, or maybe people that know me don't know you, and vice versa.
Should we introduce ourselves?
You first.
What's up, everybody? My name is Chris Sires. I am the host of Flesh and Blood Unseals, mainly a Facebook group, but also a YouTube presence as well. I think I have the honor of being one of the first people to pull a Heart of Fiendal live on video. So might be the first, I'm not sure.
So
But
does it make you the open boosters of Flesh and Blood?
maybe a little.
Without the shaky hands, though, to be honest, watching you open packs is much better than open.
Without the gloves too, you know. Like,
yes.
I never really understood the gloves thing.
No, you just need dry hands.
Yeah.
But maybe he sweats. Like some people get very sweaty palms, and it's a good idea because he said before he's ruined a card with a grease mark, a sweat mark. Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah. No, I mean, right before I start my openings, I actually go wash my hands and I clean my nails too, really carefully.
Yeah. That's
I pay attention to these things.
Dirty fingernails on openings.
Oh, dude, no, that's nasty. You know, like I'm trying to that's if all you can see of me is my face and my hands, like my face is just my face. I can't help how it looks, and if you don't like it, fuck off. Like, but my hands, at least my hands are clean. You know.
Look, incorrect. You're showing people. It's intimate. It's like your hands are larger than life, depending on what screen you open it on.
Yeah, exactly.
So while we're at the front, obviously I'll put your details in, but shout out what you do, because you've got the Unseals Facebook page, you've got the Patreon, you've got
Yeah, we've got a
little
Patreon as
Murker.
well. We're doing Unseals there, mainly selling sealed for decent prices there, and giving discounts on all the breaks and things we're doing on Flesh and Blood Unseals. We do a lot of box wars and breaks, and my personal favorite thing to do is take anything first edition and rip it. So the older
That's
the
mine
better,
too.
Yep. It's just kind of a love, I've been doing it. The Flesh and Blood and Seals Facebook group been around for like 13 months now, I think. So made it over a year. I think that makes us real. We're not going anywhere. So we started back
You're
in the
closing
days
up
of.
to 2,000, aren't you?
Yeah, we're getting close to 2,000 folks there on the group. But probably should start paying more attention to YouTube. I don't know.
Well, we can talk about that. My YouTube journey is much more successful than yours right now, which is crazy because your content, like for what I want to see, is way better than mine. Because there's like eyes and hearts and colorful legendaries. There's like $1 million worth of cards on your YouTube channel people just don't know about.
Right.
Yeah.
I think
We're
maybe
gonna
the
talk
name
about
of the
that.
channel is awful.
Look, I think this is my opinion about most things. You can't be very good at many things. I think if you were to do YouTube properly, you would be doing less live stuff, or you need to get someone to be like editing and throwing stuff up on YouTube,
Yeah,
because you
video
have a
editing.
job, right?
Yep, full time.
Yeah. So it's tricky to find the time, because I believe Unseals is fun for you.
This is a hobby. It definitely has grown into a large hobby. It's also kind of an investment for me. Like I collect. I'm a collector by nature. I come by it naturally. My mother was a collector, and of all sorts of things. I like to think that I have better collecting taste. She's got like the cabinet full of Beanie Babies and stuff, but no. I've been into what's that?
Beanie Babies are very collectible.
Yeah, depending on who you talk to. I'm like, personally. But I was into trading card games since high school. I played Magic the Gathering back in high school, and it was a fun game. Got back into it in the pandemic last year, and opened up some Crucible of War boxes due to Rudy sending out kits to patrons. And gosh, I like my favorite part of the cards is cracking the packs. Personally, that's just my thing. And Crucible of War was such a fun opening experience that I just started doing box wars with it in a Magic group and kind of wore out my welcome in the Magic group, and so I had to go create this Flesh and Blood Unseals group just to have a place to go do these things, and it's just gotten bigger and bigger ever since. So yeah.
So you started in Magic.
Yeah.
When did you open Unseals? It was roughly a year ago, right?
Yeah, it was like last October.
Yeah.
Last October.
Same as me. Crucible and Rudy were the reasons I got curious about the game. I don't agree with Rudy's philosophy of some things with collecting, but I love that he introduces me to stuff. That's cool. Tell me, what content do you consume? Don't say mine, because I know it's not true. I look for your comments. They're very rare.
I hardly ever comment. I'll usually like.
Yes.
And I am subscribed.
No, I know. You want an Arcane Rising personal box break?
What I did?
You don't? You haven't commented on the giveaway?
No. Oh, no. I usually don't comment on stuff like that because I don't want to. I feel like it'd be weird if I won. How about that? Like it would look like it was rigged or something. You know what I'm saying?
Commented.
So,
it'd be weird if he won, but he might win.
Yeah, I guess I could.
Look, what you should do is comment, and if you win, raffle it off. Like do a draw for your patrons. It's still
that'd be fun.
content.
Yeah, that'd be fun for sure. Yeah,
It's the same group. it just becomes a Chris size giveaway as well. Look,
The
it's a
double
random
giveaway.
comment picker.
Yeah,
There's like 600
yeah,
comments
fair.
on that video.
Yeah, all right, all right, all right. I'll go. I'll go comment. I'll go comment. I
It
think I
ends
like
in
that video at least.
12 hours.
But yeah, I'm watching your content. I'm watching Kitchen Table TCG's content. Less and less, but I used to watch a lot of their stuff. Let's see, Fabled Hunters. I watch, I think, every video of theirs, and Saint's a good buddy of mine. Let's see, Alpha Investments. I don't miss a video.
Of course.
I probably rewatch a lot of Rudy videos. That guy has got a lot of really good information to share, just kind of investment advice and general life outlook stuff is pretty good too.
For sure.
Yeah. What about you?
Even when you disagree with him, there's stuff to learn.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure.
He's a smart guy. So how many, you bought a couple of his kits, right?
I bought the I bought a few of the Flesh and Blood kits. I think every kit since the Crucible of War kit.
Okay.
I might have
I
missed
missed
like
the
a
Aria, not the Aria. Yeah, the Aria Unlimited one. It came and went in like an hour.
Oh
I
gosh,
was
yeah, no, I
literally at
missed that
lunch,
one too.
and I checked my notifications after eating, and they were gone.
I've still got 30 cases and tails here, so I'm not too worried about some unlimited. Was there a cool card with it or anything?
I think so, yeah. Like a full.
See, that's the bummer. That's when you miss the cards and stuff.
At the end of the day, you can pick them up. I'd rather not have cases of Aria Unlimited.
Right. They just kind of start clogging
Have
the
you
space
opened
up.
any yet?
Aria Unlimited?
Yeah.
No.
Chris, those packs are crazy. The equipment is sometimes in slot 3 and sometimes in slot 5, and it's not
weird.
it's not. So far, I haven't seen a good pull from the equipment. It's completely different, and it's Japanese. So, no, it's Belgium print unlimited. Weird stuff.
Interesting. Yeah,
Short
I haven't
print
seen
run
it.
is my guess. That's why I'm telling you about this stuff. I'm reading into that as they had to do it, but maybe they shortened it. Because why use the Belgian printer, who's the first edition stuff?
Right. Well, they've printed unlimited with Carta Monday before. Arcane Rising started there, where I think it's only ever been printed there as far as I know.
Okay.
And Welcome to Wraith started there, and it's now over in Japan.
We consume pretty much the same content then, or roughly the same content in our sphere.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make a video soon on my favorite Flesh and Blood content creators. You're on that list, but I think it's like some unknowns out there make some great content, but they just have like 80 subscribers, but they're like, their content's for certain things way better than mine, way better than yours. Like if they're doing like gameplay that I can follow, I want to shout them out. You know what I mean?
I'd like to see some commentators that are doing, or just gameplay commentary, basically. Yeah,
it's tricky with the card game.
It is. But like when we're doing Nats coverage and stuff like that, I think Channel Fireball really nails it. I mean, it's difficult to do it right, but they do a great job of it.
So Star City Games supposedly has very good content to watch for gameplay, but I haven't even watched a single video yet.
Yeah. I guess I should shout out Channel Fireball for their content too, because I do watch a lot of their stuff, especially when there are, the callings and nationals and stuff like that going on.
Lots of Channel Fireball to me is like Kitchen Table TCG in the sense that they post too many videos for me to watch, but then also the topics, it's like I want to watch 1 in 3 or 1 in 2 of the videos max. But that also means, like Rudy, I see a video, I click it. I don't care what game he's talking about because it's like stuff I would consume. But Channel Fireball posts a lot of stuff I wouldn't watch. And Kitchen Table, similar sometimes.
There's definitely a lot of stuff for Channel Fireball. I mean, Channel Fireball is like just a fire hose of content. So, and even just their Flesh and Blood content would be a fire hose. But no, at least their live coverage
stuff showing you when they post too much. That's the problem. You have to go looking for Flesh and Blood content on Channel Fireball.
Yeah, it's just piles and piles of content.
Yeah.
But
Let's talk about Kitchen Table, because there was, well, I was part of the drama because I used your face as clickbait in a video. But we talked behind the scenes about that. I have my own take on, I clearly told Louis what I felt about the podcast being called a Flesh and Blood podcast, but then I hear about another game in it. You had stronger feelings in that, but now, like, when all the smoke settles, how do you feel about it?
well, I mean, if you renamed it, it's no longer a Flesh and Blood podcast.
Sure.
So, vindicated.
You see it that way?
I mean, like I didn't like the fact that we were being told that this was going to be all about Flesh and Blood, and then it was an hour of MetaZoo. I fucking hate MetaZoo. I'm not interested in it even a little bit.
Yeah.
And so when I see a new video and I'm excited to go watch the video, and then it's a bunch of negativity about the game I love, and then talking a bunch about this other game that I really hate. Yeah, and I was a little upset, and so I wrote a little post, and I flamed Louis, and I love Louis to death, but man, I was kind of mad. I apologize. I think. Sorry, Louis. I love you, buddy, and I still watch your content.
The thing, look, I have two things to say about that scenario. One was the way I took your reaction is probably different than most. I pictured you as like you're at a sports game with your kid and someone ran into your kid. It's like it's a game and it's like it doesn't matter, but you can't not have an emotional reaction when it's something you love. That's how I looked at it from my head. I was like, I can see his anger. I can see
you ran into my kid, you dumb tap your beer on his head.
I'm very much. It's funny because I agree with both of you. I think he has the right to do whatever he wants, right? I think
of course, yeah.
You're more coming from I love the game, and you might be pulling attention or players away from it, and I don't like that. That's the simplified version.
Yeah.
Whether I agree if he's doing that or not, I think he's not, in the sense of I don't think any like good Flesh and Blood investors or players like look. Let me flame MetaZoo for a second. If you're buying MetaZoo because you think you're Rudy and you think you can buy sealed cardboard and make money, I hope you lose all your money. I don't think you're gonna make any money. I don't think on it that as a business model is like, oh, I buy stuff and I sit on it for years. I think Rudy posted a video. He's got $2 million worth of boxes behind him in the video, and he's mentioned he's got like $30 million in sealed product. You are small fish if you're buying MetaZoo. Rudy doesn't have stacks of MetaZoo.
He's got a bit, I'm sure. But
I'm sure he has. But
He's got a
Magic is different. Magic has pedigree and age. A new game comes out and all you're doing is holding sealed product. You're not even letting the players get their hands on it. The game will shrivel up and die. It's got to be, you still got to have enough product for the players before you like, and you and I are adults. You're a bit older than me, but the art doesn't appeal to me. The fourth wall doesn't appeal to me. I like that maturity, that depth of feel, but you and I aren't too interested in Pokemon either. So
I never even, I never even got into Pokemon, and that, and maybe that says something about my artistic likes and dislikes. It just never appealed to me and in any of its properties, and so I never got into it. Maybe in hindsight that was a bad idea, because damn, Pokemon's pretty expensive stuff these days, and as a TCG investor, expensive cards are a good thing.
I started specifically watching Rudy content on Flesh and Blood. I watched 2 videos and I spent way too much money on a Crucible First Edition box after watching a video. That's because Rudy never, ever tries to sell me anything. Like, I know he's got a Patreon, but he's never spruiking. He's never shilling. He talks. He goes, I like this product. He never says, you guys are idiots for not buying it, or you guys should feel like you should get some. He doesn't do that. He just like talks to me, and I can tell he really doesn't care if I buy it or not, because he's already going to make money. He makes very good decisions on this shit. So you're just listening to him talk, and then you're like, ooh, that card, that art, that set looks amazing. I'm going to jump in. Not because Rudy said jump in. He's not giving advice. The MetaZoo stuff, not talking about Louis here, I'm talking about most MetaZoo content, including the owner, feels salesy. Feels like I'm being told to buy it because it's a good investment. When I see the content, most of the content's about the investing. It's not like appreciation of the art or even the humor in it. Like, it's just buy it, it's skyrocketing, which is like what people do with crypto. And like I think everyone's a little bit allergic to that sales speech. Like someone's telling you what to spend your money on.
I've heard weird things about their Discord and stuff. Like if you ask the wrong question, you'll just get banned instantly. And like they just have like a really kind of a cult thing going on. But whatever. I've never looked into it. I shouldn't talk about what I've not seen myself.
If you had someone in your Unseals group constantly talking about Magic, maybe you wouldn't ban them, but you'd be like, "What are you doing here?" You'd be like, "You're clearly not contributing." Right? I think that's what it is. And that's why I don't care about that stuff. Like, if it's your Discord, ban people. It's just a closed door is not gonna help the game grow. You know?
Yeah, and like a casual mention here and there is not gonna hurt anything. It's like hey,
you do what I do. I learned it from you. We always put exactly. Yeah, it doesn't hurt anyone.
Ooh, oh no. Okay, here, fixed it.
Do you still have a big collection in Magic?
I have a ever-changing collection in Magic. It's dwindling, I would say, because I keep liquidating newer stuff to buy more alpha.
I was gonna ask you.
Yeah, I just buy alpha. I don't buy anything new unless it's with the intent to crack packs. I'll buy some newer sets just for fun and crack it when I'm bored. But I don't typically video the stuff anymore. It's just not fun for that. Yeah, I'm just
sometimes you just gotta open stuff for yourself too.
Yeah, just cracking for fun. Yeah. Had a couple of drinks or whatever.
Do you own, Chris?
Welcome to Wraith Alpha.
Yeah. That's the king.
At this moment, I have 9.
I need to catch up, but I'm opening them quicker than you. That's the problem.
That's not the king, by the way. Not when it comes to alpha. Not by any stretch. Oh no, I'm pretty sure I know at least one guy that's got a few more than me.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I meant that's the king set.
Oh yeah.
No, I'm sure there's. Look, I know there's at least one person worth hundreds of millions of dollars in our community. Can't compete with that.
There's actually a few.
Yeah, I'm saying I know of one. So if I know of one, there's got to be a few.
Yeah.
There's always a few. I mean, Steve Aoki's wealth is far past most of us, and he's definitely a flesh and blood collector. You see his video on the hearts, taping them back together.
Yeah.
I love that shit.
Yeah.
I want to buy it when I messaged him. He'll never reply. I want to shred it.
The Rad Brad, Rad Brad. He's got 12 million followers on YouTube.
Rad Brad.
Yeah.
I'll look him up.
And he's a flesh and blood collector. Good guy.
So tell me, you go back in Magic. Did you ever open their paper packs, whatever the set was called?
Oh gosh, I think it was a Masters set. No, I didn't open those.
What are your thoughts on Everfest, and what's your thoughts on the paper packaging?
I'm looking forward to burning it.
Yeah.
We don't have recycling here.
Hopefully.
We don't have recycling, so I figure I'll just light it up. I don't know. I've got all my regular packages or all my regular packs. Just I have a lot of these.
Yeah. Do you recycle them, or you got to take them in somewhere?
I've got them all in bags.
Yeah.
I think at some point we're gonna do something fun with them. I don't know what though.
If you fill the swimming pool with them, you could probably jump in safely.
Maybe. You'd have to get them in there pretty dense.
So what's your thoughts on Everfest? But I also want to know, what do you think it's going to do to the market end of things?
Everfest?
Yeah.
Well, Everfest, for one thing, is a long ways away.
Yes, February.
And I kind of like that.
It's going to let the market settle.
The market needs some time to settle. It's been a very volatile period for Flesh and Blood, and I feel like it wouldn't hurt if there was a little bit of time for things to settle. And even if those things settle downwards a little bit, that's just going to be the way it is. I don't really foresee too much movement in the downward direction from here, but who knows?
There's not much room down to go for some things.
Yeah, like Tails, for instance. We thought we were seeing fairly rock bottom prices when it came out, but then it showed us that it could go a little bit lower, and it did. And as far as I know, it's not going to go any lower than it is now. But if there's a couple dollars to move, I suppose maybe. I don't know. From personally, personally, if I'm selling boxes, I'm losing money on them at this point, which is kind of sad. But that's just kind of how it is. Sometimes it's a hobby, and you don't always make money on it. So, like I'm not getting stuff from distributor. So,
true.
My patron boxes are actually under what I paid for them by a bit. But
yeah,
that's the way these things go sometimes. Will it go lower? I don't think so.
Well, let's talk lower is like whatever, right? Monarch and Ari are gonna take a couple of years to settle. I think. I don't think it's gonna, not a couple, but it's gonna take more long term to see what the heck those sets are gonna do. But
It's really
Everfest
weird,
is really only comparable to Crew.
Why are the sets taking so long though? Like we've got 2 Runeblades, right? And Runeblade is what everybody loves to play, and it's the end all be all of the meta, and yet the sets that the Runeblades are in are not as well received.
Did you see the news out of Canada though the other day?
What's that?
First of all, the winner was female. Second, she went Lexi, winner of nationals. And third, she went 25-1 against Briar.
Hell yeah. That's what we're talking about right there.
I think the meta is just not mature yet.
Thank you.
Let me tell you something. I played 3 events, Blitz, in Australia, which is fucking amazing. The game is good, man. It's good.
Mm-hmm. It's so much fun to play.
The only decks I hate are Lexi decks. Like,
you hate him?
Oldham's annoying, but like he never like whacks you for 20 either, right? It's like just annoying.
Oh,
but Lexi gets.
So you hate getting abused by her. Have you tried playing her?
Not yet. No, I'm gonna play Dorinthia only for a while, because if you like specialize, it's easier to learn from what comes to you because you're paying less attention to your hand and you can read everything else. Well, if you try and learn 20 heroes, because there's 21 or 22, you're never going to be good quick enough. Like I want to get good quick, and then it's like learning an instrument. I think I don't play an instrument, but as a rule, you're supposed to learn one instrument and then others can be easy, but you really should spend a few years on one. So I'm going to play this for at least a season or 2 because Dorinthia is fun but simple. Like, swing with the weapon, get a go again, get Dorinthia's ability, and then get a counter. Like it's not.
I learned on a Dorinthia deck, but the first time I picked up a Bolt and Sabers deck, man, I was like, "Sorry, Dorinthia, you're boring."
So did you see my video with Tall Timmy, the other Australian content creator?
Yeah, cracking packs together.
Yeah. So he plays Bolt and Sabers. So because we're in the sort of same group, I'd rather be a Dorinthia. I played him. He had double luminers in one turn. I died like one turn, like swung 7 times. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, when Bolton goes off, man.
Yeah, but Dorinthia's ranked higher in Blitz. It's rated higher. Like, but I think my deck needs tweaking. Either way, I'm trying to have fun more than I'm trying to win. But I also want to get good enough that I can. Look, when you play against Lexi, you can tell what Lexi does. Even if you don't play it, you go, okay, that's a lightning Lexi. That's like shoot 4 hours a turn. Frost Lexi's like just everything starts costing too many resources to kill her.
Yeah, frost lock everywhere.
Ira got me to a game where I had nothing to block with. So the first Kadashi had 1 health left, so I had to block with 3 every. Like I was dead. Like he just wore me down. Like it's so good value in an Ira deck to like swing with Kadashi for 1.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, oh, I can't do anything about it. I gotta block. Like I don't need to play Ira to appreciate it. But then once I've seen all the decks against Dorinthia, I'll probably switch to something I like more.
Gotcha.
But I think, and this is advice to everyone out there, don't do anything till Everfest comes out because your deck is going to change and your hero is going to change and the meta is going to change. Look, if Ellis is doing the right thing, Runeblades won't be at the top after February. You'd imagine they've put some more power into some other classes.
I disagree, actually. I mean, that has to do with players deciding to change the meta, right? I mean, you said, there was this woman that won with Ice. Was it Ice Lexi or Lightning Lexi?
I think it's Frost.
Frost Lexi. Ice, yeah. So, I mean, that's the kind of thing that I think we'll see. And
correct, it's up to the player.
I mean, will the next set change the meta? Oh, I'm sure it'll change the meta, right? Every new card that comes out changes the meta, but I hope that the meta continues to evolve between here and there, and we got a couple of months between here and there, so I expect to see some changes.
So I'll tell you what I think's happening is people look at who won, copy the deck, and they play it.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why I think Runeblade's so popular. And I'm not an expert, so I could be wrong. I know why Runeblade's strong. It's because it's a mixture of arcane and physical. It's tricky to deal with. Kano, you know what's coming. Runeblades, you have to. It's hard to deal with both. But Lexi can just make everything cost more as a Frost Lexi, so it helps, I think. But blocking out that damage is like a warrior. It's so hard. And I'm nowhere near good enough to like beat a Runeblade. Any of them, Viscerai killed me, Briar killed me. Like very tricky.
I'm still surprised that Oldhim doesn't have a bigger chunk of the meta right now, especially considering how dominant Runeblade is.
What I've seen is Oldhim. So when you play at an event with a time limit, Oldhim can cost you the game because it's so slow sometimes. Like you're playing quick, but it just goes so long because it's just pitching to stop damage. So the deck. You don't burn through your deck quick.
Right, so it's control deck, and you're just trying to wait out your opponent,
basically. But a lot of Oldhams lose because a draw is a loss. They don't look at the life total at the end of the game. Otherwise, Oldham would win. But like if you've got 20 health and no time left, you both lose.
Gotcha.
So maybe they got to look at the rule change. But then if you start making their games longer, it's not necessarily a good thing.
Right. Yeah. I mean, how many rounds do you want to do in a day? Well, maybe that wouldn't be a bad thing though, because doing 7 rounds in a day seems pretty grueling for a lot of people that are playing. I mean, maybe make the rounds slightly longer and then do less of them a day.
I think all they need is a rule saying if you got whatever X amount of health more than your opponent and that you run out of time, you win. Like it shouldn't be a draw. If you've got 1 health and I've got 19, over like the expectation is if I play for another
draw. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you see what I mean? But right now it would be a draw. Time runs out. I think you get 1 more turn.
It's within 5 health or something like that. Call it a draw, maybe.
They can do the maths and figure it out to be fair.
Do something. Yeah. But calling it a straight loss though, that kind of sucks. That's a feel bad.
That's I believe the rules right now. It's a straight loss. For both of them, a draw is counts as a loss for both. It doesn't get neutral points. It gives you the negative ELO type thing.
Yeah, and I can kind of see why they do that too. Just because, I mean, it could be that you have some strategy that just is all about just wearing the clock out, and then it kind of dies after a certain point.
It kind of plays like that.
Yeah, I mean, wearing the deck out versus the clock though. I mean, Oldham's up all about the deck.
Was against Dash. She ran out of cards because Dash uses a lot. Like she's milling her own deck, and I just was able to survive. and then
Yep.
they ran out of cards. And when you run out of cards, you can't block. So you don't like lose that, but like, I'm gonna swing, and you can't block.
Right. You're just kind of standing there like
Yeah.
defenseless, and yeah, it's game.
So tell me, you're like in a more remote area, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
Because you live on Sire's Lane. When a male used to, I was like, dude, he's got his own street. That's usually
I'm
only
out in the
happens in
middle
like
of nowhere. Yeah,
country areas.
yeah.
So how does that work for playing? Is it still you and your wife? Do you go
It's
to events?
it's my wife and I, and if we want to play, the nearest LGS that carries Flesh and Blood is around 2 hours away.
Okay.
So
Neighbors?
yeah,
Anyone around that plays?
not yet. I've been thinking about putting together a social circle of some sort to maybe do that, but with the pandemic and everything, and then with Unseals, the Facebook group, it's honestly I don't have that much time for it. So I love playing, but games with my wife is about as much time as I have.
Because some people, not that, like, not talking about you behind your back too much, but I think some people assume you're attached to an LGS because you have stock all the time. But you're like me, you just buy stuff and open it.
Yeah.
Or buy stuff and sell packs out of it.
I'm buying on the open market. I am not attached to an LGS. Yeah. If I was, I could make a lot more money. But
any plans to?
Definitely kicked around the idea on multiple occasions. How about that? But nothing serious.
Yeah.
If someone were to come to me and say, "Hey, we'll be your LGS connection for all the sealed product, and we'd like you to do X, Y, and Z," well, that would be an interesting conversation to have. But I haven't done that yet. So
yeah, no, fair enough. Again, it's something someone asked me, like, "Oh, does Chris have a store?" I'm like, "No, I'm pretty sure he's negotiating." Like everyone, like you had some stuff maybe for cheaper because you got in early, but you're still just buying at retail. I know you did with Aria.
Retail, yeah. Buying in bulk and buying retail. Yeah.
Favorite Flesh and Blood card?
Oh gosh. Art or the way that it plays, or
just keep value away from it and answer however you like.
Gambler's Gloves is high up for me. Sonata Arcanics as well. That one I actually have a nice print of it framed on the wall over here. That's, yeah, beautiful card, beautiful art. Kind of reminds me of a MC Escher piece. Yeah.
Sonata Arcanics, right? It's good.
Yeah.
I want to buy a library, like the art. I got to talk to a good friend at the Fab Art House, see if he can find one. I've seen them go around. I think Aaron, who we both know, Aaron B, picked one up.
Yeah, there was a limited run of those, and I think they're all on people's walls at this point. But you never know.
I don't need a signed one. I just would like a good quality print. I think the signed ones, the limited ones, I don't care. At the end of the day, like, the only art I would pay big money for is an original. Not an
and most of the art in Flesh and Blood's all digital, so original doesn't mean anything.
No, I mean, like, if the artist that painted the library had original other art to sell, I would buy something like that.
Right, but it's not a painting, it's a digital. So
the library is digital?
Yeah. Like all Flesh and Blood art is digital. As far as I know.
I think so. There's this new game coming out, Sorcery, I think it's called, based in New Zealand as well. I think that's their big claim to fame. It's all original art, paint, oil, acrylic, like that.
Oh, wow.
Like they only will put art that's physical, original.
It's very challenging for the artists these days to do that. Yeah,
but their cards, like if you look on their website, I think Red Zone Rogue or one of those channels already like got some test prints from them. Like the art's very unique. It's textured, like in the sense of it looks different. Yeah, I think though Flesh and Blood do a very good job with the foiling and the way the art looks is it's very textured too. Like it doesn't look digital or flat.
Right.
They're good pieces.
Yeah, it's got a lot of action going on, and like I've got some cards down in front of me here, and there's only like one card that doesn't have much in the way of action going on. That's Towering Titan. You know, this beautiful big scenes, right?
Yeah.
Every other card in front of me is like a
action shot.
Yeah, everything else is an action shot.
I always wonder what the rejection rate is on art for this stuff. Like, how much rejected art does LSS have?
They could have rejected this one. Seeping Shadows, like this,
Maybe they
doesn't
should
really
have,
do much for me.
but it's sort of
Rifting, man. They definitely should have rejected Rifting. That dude with his boombox.
Like nimblism and sluggism. They're quite
Those ones, yeah. Those ones are kind of lame too. There are a few pieces where it's like, okay, all right, but but those ones came early, right? And so they needed to leave a little room for improvement. So I could kind of see where they were going there, right?
I think too, you got to look at it as a cost. Some of the art pieces on your card probably come with 10 times the cost factor of others. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it's all equal. I don't think they're paying like the artists an equal amount for all the art. I think it's like, but then a very talented artist is probably not able to do commission work for 50 cards either. Like they're gonna give them a couple of jobs and they're expensive.
Right, like this Anastasia Sova. I've never heard of her before, and probably does not get paid quite the same as Mark Poole did, right? Like, but push the point.
It's a cool
Nice piece of art.
Especially anything with a perspective is quite cool.
Yeah.
So what's the future with Unseals? Like anything new you're thinking of, mulling over?
Yeah, we've got some big plans. We're looking at trying to figure out how to play along with Everfest a little bit. We've been talking about a prize wall type scenario where you could unseals things, and if you don't like the content of the box, you just let us keep it, and we'll give you points toward stuff on the wall. Cold foils and all kinds of shiny stuff.
Yeah,
so things like that. Trying to create some fun events and build the community a little bit, and maybe someday we'll start doing some group buyouts. That's the evil investor stuff. We were going to talk about the evil investor stuff, were we?
That's cool.
How's your cold foil collection looking?
You got to repeat that. You're echoing a little bit.
How's your cold foil collection looking?
I did a huge audit. It took me 2 days. I got rid of every card under 100 USD.
Got rid of?
Sold.
Oh.
Yeah.
Before?
Because I'm running out of room.
Oh.
Like I basically sold everything under 100 USD, and I was able to buy like 25 cases of Everfest with it. But I've got a Pelican
Pre-sales. Pre-sales. These are penny stocks, man. Why would you sell your penny stocks? Check these out.
You'll see soon.
Huh?
I know. And some of those like are 100% a steal. Like, especially if you're in the game and you're expecting a decade or two out of this hobby, Tales of Aria cold foils are going to age very well. It's still going to be one of the prettiest sets. And the cold foil, like the price of entry, you can buy 20 cold foils instead of buying a.
Yeah,
I'm getting like they will age well physically too. They don't have any warping issues.
I'm getting 10 cold foils for $100 right now.
Yeah, it's nuts.
I love it. Yeah. Like my cold foil binder looks so good.
So we have different goals. That's why I don't buy those. Although I see the opportunity. It's just my goal is the opposite. I want to take my collection and end up with I'm hunting for a black label BGS card, for instance. When one comes up, like that's something I would buy, like a 101 when it's a
Mhm.
1-on-1. I think someone said there's a Drone of Brutality quad 10. I'd
Ooh.
buy that.
Well, quad 10. That's a black label. Yeah.
That's what I mean. There's one.
Yeah.
But
Hmm.
again, they say that it exists, but I can't find it.
Ah.
But imagine like a gold foil 10. Especially if I can buy the gold foil and grade it and get a 10. So I'm trying to go up value-wise. So I'd rather take 5 legendaries and trade them for a Fable right now than keep the 5.
Sure. So what are your collection goals then? Just to amass the
The rarer.
biggest,
Just
the rarest card.
my philosophy on it is I have maybe a higher disposable income than 50% at least of the people that collect Flesh and Blood. So if I can access cards or products that they can't, that usually also helps it grow in time. Like usually the less accessible it is, there's only 10 buyers for something, your negotiations are different in the world. Like there's only 10 buyers. Like Lotuses, Saint will trade a Lotus for some alpha product, but how many people in the world can afford one? It's a pretty small number.
Yeah.
Now, with Magic, that number still might be 1,000 people, but Flesh and Blood right now, it's less than 100 players or people that I could access that would have the money to buy like a Heart of Fandor first edition. I'd rather have 5 of those. I'd rather not have cards that other people can afford and trade, and so I want to just try and get my collection to a point where it's like I've got $100,000 card in it.
Fair.
Yeah, and easier to manage, easier to catalog. Like if I've got 5 cards, right? 5 cards is 5 cards. Yeah, but now that I'm playing, things are going to change because, like, I've got 3 deck lists I want to build, like a Shiana one. I want to see how that plays. So like that's going to change. I'm going to have a different collection for that as well.
And certain cards are just going to get attached to them when you're playing them, right? So
correct. So like Dorinthia, I want the full cold foil. Like I want first editions. You know what I mean? Like,
I've got a cold foil Dorinthia on the way right now.
I saw she's easy to find. The rainbow foil young version, no one will sell me one. That's the hard one to find. If you got one, I'll buy it.
I think I have adult. But,
yeah, adult is more common, I believe. Even though cold foil, the rainbow foil young is the hard one to find. Like nearly double the value right now.
Yeah, don't have that one.
Okay. Do you play any webcam games or anything, or have you thought about it?
I used to do some tabletop simulator.
Okay.
But haven't done webcam. Nah.
Look, that's what
typically
we should
my
do.
video time is just doing Unseals stuff.
Of course. No, and it's busy for you. Like I know it's busy just for me. Like how much stuff I order from you. It's like you got to pack it and get all the billing in order and.
Yeah, I mean the video itself is probably. I mean it's like the tip of the iceberg thing, right? Yeah. Like I spend half an hour making the video, and then I spend 2 hours making sure that it all gets packed up and out to the customers that purchase things.
Yeah.
So.
And I don't think people like. Again, this isn't like a negative, but I think people look at when you sell packs in a box as like, he's doing it for money. Like I thought about it because I have a YouTube channel and I don't want to do it because I'm like, there's not enough money in it and there's way too much time and room for error. So I have 25 different people, 25 addresses. This guy canceled his PayPal. This guy lives in Russia. Like you still got to deal with every customer, every pack is a product. So like it's not like all profit is what I'm saying. If you look at the pack price, and sometimes your pack pricing, which is why I spend so much with you, is it's cheaper than Australia anyway. Like most of the prices we do after shipping is cheaper than if I went to my local store to buy the same product.
Nah, well, I'm trying to keep my prices very reasonable, and for patrons as well. There's usually a discount for everything that I'm doing, and sometimes I have events where people seem to think that I'm just making a ton of money off of them, but not really. It's typically you're breaking these things pretty close to the bone, and the reason for that is that I have the stuff sealed, and I want the sealed stuff to go up in value. I'm just a hobbyist. I'm not trying to make a huge profit off this. I'm just trying to see that these things get cracked,
Yeah.
because the more of them get opened, the better for all of us that have any that are still sealed.
Yeah.
And not only that, but I kind of really like opening them. So it's just a great mix, right?
No, we
And
share that. I love opening it. That's why I'll buy it knowing 80-90% of the time I lose money on the box, especially when I'm
yeah.
not selling the packs. Like, I don't know if you see the values of some of my videos, but like the last AKM box was under $1,000 Aussie,
Oh
and
man.
like one common cold foil, two super rares, two majestics. There's no money in that
Well, the
one.
one before
Also,
that was good though.
yeah, but that's and the one you opened for me is made up for that for
Yeah.
sure. Because I didn't
Yeah.
even see. This is me shilling for Chris right now. I got a majestic in my last pack, and I got a cold foil legendary Tekla Foundry Heart,
Teklo Foundry
and I
Heart.
didn't have to buy the whole box. That as an
Mhm.
investment, my cost, like, because I'm opening stuff for myself, it's a way better investment if I bought a box. Because I what's a box go for? Like
Mm,
$2,500 US. What are they going for?
at least.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
About that.
$2,500 US, and my bill was not $2,500 US, not even close for that
Yeah.
Tekla Heart and the Majestic. And the thing is, you're such a big person in the community that everyone knows the amount you pulled. If you were weighing packs or anything stupid like that, we wouldn't see it. No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, it's crazy because you go watch the videos and you're like, dude, he's hearts and Shianas. Like, I've pulled 3
Yeah.
Fabled, 4 Fabled with, and yeah,
Yeah.
it's
I ain't got
great
time for
value
that
is
though.
what I'm saying.
It's way
Like, if
too
you
much
like
fun.
my content on YouTube, but you're not going to spend $5,000 on an alpha box, buy a pack of alpha of Chris for Christmas. Like, it's, you still have a chance. Like, it's a fraction of the chance, I know, but
It's a lot
it's
of
your
fun.
access in. If you want to have
You
some
get
alpha cards, some pink strips, you just got to do an unseal. Like, that's how I see it. It's one or the
you get
other.
some skin in the game.
Yeah. And that's, look, aside from Rudy's video, the next thing I found was your videos, because I was trying to price my Shiana, and I saw you opening stuff. And I'm like, do you ship to Australia? You're like, yeah. I'm like, give me every pack, remember?
Mm-hmm.
That was left. And then people
Yeah.
wanted some of those packs. I'm like, look, give them my slots. Like, I'm not trying to be greedy. And then you pulled an eye.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
looking
And
at the TCG player. I'm like, what the fucking eye is like expensive, man.
that
I'm
was
like,
like the
Chris,
best
the next
introduction ever.
box is on the house. Split it to your patrons. I don't care. Man, like, we've opened a lot. Yeah. And what I'm saying is, like, I've still made more profit or value through your unseals than my own unboxings so far.
Well, awesome. Awesome. Yeah. Yeah. No, we've opened a lot of fireboxes lately. I think since June or July, we've opened 30-ish alpha boxes.
Yeah.
And we hit 2 Heart of Fiendals. So,
Dude, I'm
those
waiting
odds
for
are
mine.
pretty hot.
Yeah. Hey, I know
Yeah.
you've got dinner soon.
Gotta
Anything
run, yeah.
you want to finish off with?
I think that we are coming to a place as a community where things are going to start becoming a little bit more cohesive, a little bit more coherent. Hopefully, it seems like we're getting there, and we're starting to see more competitive play and stuff. And I think that the game is really starting to mature a little bit.
Yeah.
And I hope that everybody's still along for the ride. I think all of the flippers have left. They all went off to MetaZoo. They're all off doing something else now. So the folks that are here now, they're ours to lose, if you will.
Yeah.
They're our hearts to lose. Like we are this community. We can make it as good or as bad as we want it to be, and I want it to be a great community. So I'm doing my part, and I know you are too.
I think I think everyone in the community is quite good. The little bit of friction I didn't see as a negative, because it's like, hey man, it says flesh and blood, keep it that way. Don't talk about, you know what I mean? But in
Yeah.
general, this community
Yeah.
is great vibes 99% of the time. I've never been ripped off on a sale yet we're doing international stuff and you send on time and it's greatly packed. Like, I've never even received a card packed badly yet. I know it happens, but overall the community is good.
I had someone complain about a super rare in a bag once. And I was like, well, I mean, I guess I could have put that in extra packaging, but if it gets bad, let me know. I'll take care of it.
The way I do it when I sell or buy, if I care, like if I want you to pack it a certain way, I'm telling you how I want it. I'm paying extra if I need to, and I'm making you send me a photo before I pay you. So you pack it, not with you personally, because you're pretty good. But if I'm buying like cold foil promos, I'm like, you're sending me a photo or a video of you packing it. I'm not paying you till I see how they're packed. And
Fair.
that's your job as a buyer. Like, you can't complain after the fact when you buy. What are you buying? You're buying the card, but you're buying the handling and shipping, right?
Yeah.
Maybe get
I
involved
figure-
in the handling and shipping if you're picky.
Send hundreds of packages, you get less than 1% of folks complaining.
You're pretty good,
All's
man.
well.
If you ever need a shout out for your packaging, send people to my Unseals mail test. Everyone's like, the packaging amazing. It's right there. I open it before. I don't check it. I open it live. I've never
Yeah.
had a damage. Nothing. Everything's great.
Sweet.
So enjoy
Awesome.
your dinner. I'll
Thank
put
you.
your links at the bottom. And yeah, we'll be talking soon, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's good talking to you. Let's do this again.
We will.
Take care.